Welcome back to another explainer. Today we're diving into something you probably held in your hands hundreds of times without ever realizing its true power. I am talking about the humble restaurant menu. When we sit down at a table, we usually just see a piece of paper telling us what's for dinner, but in reality, it's the hidden master blueprint of the entire hospitality industry. It controls absolutely everything, from the kitchen's architecture all the way down to the subtle psychology of how you spend your money.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the ultimate restaurant blueprint, then decode types and pricing, explore the art of menu planning, and finish up with menu design and psychology. Let's pull back the curtain on the diner experience and look at the hidden operational mechanics.
Section 1. The ultimate restaurant blueprint. Let's strip away all those typical assumptions we have when we sit down to eat.
At its most basic, surface level, a menu is exactly what you see here. Simply a list of available foods offered in a food service operation. And sure, it communicates the restaurant's image and sets the mood, but that really innocent definition hides its massive, true power over the business.
You see, for a restaurant manager, the menu is way more than just a list. It's actually their chief in-house marketing and sales tool. It's the central gear that dictates their entire operational reality. If the menu fails, the business fails right along with it. To truly get this, just look at the menu's hidden impact. For the kitchen crew, it dictates exactly what foods need to be prepared. For the service staff, their daily tasks are totally driven by those items. But it goes so much deeper than that. The menu tells management exactly what specialized equipment they have to buy. It dictates how many employees they need and the specific skill levels those chefs must have. Astonishingly, it even guides how the building itself, especially the interior design, should be built. Literally everything starts with the menu.
Section 2. Decoding types and pricing. Let's see how this blueprint translates into the specific categories and prices you and I encounter every day.
First, we have to look at the clock. Even the time of day completely shifts the menu's vibe and what the operation needs. Breakfast items have to be simple, fast, and inexpensive to get you in and out. Lunch shifts gears for that midday break, meaning it's usually quicker and lighter than dinner. And then dinner is the main event for most folks, so the menu gets heavier, far more elaborate, and is actually designed to make you want to linger.
Restaurants also categorize their menus by schedule. A standard restaurant typically relies on a fixed menu, which is one single menu they use for several months at a time. But what if your guests are eating with you every single day? Well, that's where cycle menus come in. These are specifically designed to swap out options and prevent menu fatigue, offering daily variety for places like schools, hospitals, and corporate offices.
Now this perfectly illustrates the two extremes of pricing. On the left, you've got the a la carte menu, where every single item is priced individually, from your appetizer down to your dessert. On the right is the Prix menu. This one offers a complete set meal at one flat price, regardless of what specific variations you choose from the options given.
But there's a middle ground you've probably experienced a lot, called semi-a la carte. In this hybrid setup, your appetizers, soups, and desserts are priced separately, but ordering your main entree automatically includes your salad, your sides, and sometimes even a beverage. It's a really great balance between total freedom and a curated meal.
Section 3. The art of menu planning. So, now that we know the types, imagine you're opening your very own restaurant. How do you actually plan out these dishes to make sure things run smoothly and you turn a profit?
Well, to plan effectively, you have to follow two fundamental rules. First, you must intimately know your guests. What do they actually want and expect? Second, you have to know the absolute constraints of your operation. You need to deeply understand your specific theme, the equipment you have in the kitchen, the personnel you've hired, and, of course, your budget. I mean, you can't put a complex soufflé on the menu if you don't have the proper ovens or a pastry chef to actually pull it off.
It all comes down to mastering a pretty grueling balancing act. A master menu planner is constantly weighing three things. First is business balance, ensuring your food costs and profit margins actually work. Second is aesthetic balance, which is creating that beautiful artistic harmony of colors, textures, and flavors on the plate. And third is nutritional balance, making sure the dietary makeup of the dish makes sense for your guest.
Because this balance is so delicate and interconnected, there is a very strict sequence you have to follow when selecting items. You must always plan your main entrees first. They are the stars of the show. They act as an anchor for everything else you end up offering. Once those entrees are locked in, they seamlessly guide your choices for the appetizers, the starches, the vegetables, and finally, the desserts and drinks.
Section 4. Menu Design and Psychology. For our final layer here, let's step out of the busy kitchen and look at the physical printed menu itself to uncover the psychology of its layout.
A beautifully designed cover is great for setting the mood, but the inside of the menu communicates through three very specific layers of text, or copy. First, you have your structural headings, to break things up. Next is the descriptive copy. This is that incredibly important text that tells you about ingredients and prep methods. Its real goal is to make your mouth water and actively increase sales. Finally, you have the supplemental copy, which handles the basic stuff like hours, addresses, and payment policies.
But restaurateurs have to watch out for common design mistakes that actively frustrate diners. Think about it. Have you ever had to pull out your phone flashlight because the font was too tiny? Or maybe there was zero descriptive copy, so you were just guessing what the dish was going to be. Other major errors include weird blank pages, missing basic info, or worse, treating every single item visually the same, which completely fails to highlight the best dishes. This brings us to a really massive realization. Ultimately, the true job of a menu writer isn't just to passively list food. Their principal duty is to actively direct your attention exactly where the restaurant wants it to go. The formatting itself is a powerful tool designed to boost both sales and overall profit.
Take a look at this brilliant single-page layout trick that's used all across the industry. When you glance at a menu, your eyes don't just wander randomly. The absolute prime focal point for sales concentration is the area right above an imaginary horizontal line that divides the page in half. Because your eyes naturally fall there, this prime real estate is strategically packed with the items that are most profitable for the restaurant. It's literally invisible architecture guiding your cravings.
We've seen how this seemingly simple list dictates the kitchen's equipment, balances artistic and business needs, and even uses subtle visual psychology to guide your eyes. So the next time you sit down to eat, unfold that cover and notice the descriptive copy sitting right above that center line. You've got to ask yourself, are you freely choosing your meal, or did this master blueprint just choose it for you? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll see you on the next one.